Desire is such a powerful force inside each of us. If you don't think you have it, trust me, you do, even if it's hidden beneath your outer awareness. For me, no matter what my head or my heart wants, my true desire wins out in the long run. For much of this life, I actually desired not to reside on earth. I wanted to be somewhere else where I knew life was better. Except I grew up on ranches in Montana, and I had horses that I loved. Being with my horse friends was like a slice of heaven on earth. Don't get me wrong, I had success growing up. I was a national contender in events, a state champion. In college, I played 2 sports, basketball and rodeo. After college, I covered the United States Supreme Court and Congress as a journalist. Then I went to law school at the University of Montana. I've been an attorney for almost 30 years, and I have my own litigation practice. Still, due to trauma as I was a child, which was childhood sexual abuse when I was 5, and issues with my mom, I experienced life through the lens of trauma, and I wanted to be somewhere else. 8 years ago, I was laying in a hospital bed, and I was granted my desire. I left my body. My C-reactive protein test revealed a score of 187, which is incredibly high. As I lay there talking to God about dying, I did not think about my accomplishments, my success, how much money I made. Instead, I thought about God. I thought about who and what I loved. I'd had pericarditis, inflammation around my heart, for the last year, and it had steadily gotten worse. Also, I had pneumonia and pleuritis, inflammation around my lungs. As I lay there in that bed, all of a sudden, I was enveloped in white and gold shimmery light. I left my body and I went up, up, up. I was high in the upper atmosphere. I was walking in the Milky Way. I was translucent, one with light. I felt warm, safe, and totally at home. As I was ascending, I felt like a little 4-year-old running to my heavenly parents' lap. I felt joy, freedom, like I was in the playground of heaven. I felt totally, totally loved and totally, totally worthy. And then I realized that whomever I was going to be seeing up there wasn't going to be happy because I had not fulfilled my reason for being. In my heart of hearts, I did not want to disappoint God. So it seemed like I only had a nanosecond. I went deep into my heart, and I hoped to be able to return to my body. I desired to fulfill my reason for being. I made 2 promises. I promised to do whatever it took to heal and to get into my body. As soon as I made those promises, out from high in the upper atmosphere, I was back in that tube of light, and I fell right back to my body. Whoosh, thud, thunk. It was awful. I felt like I was crawling in a dead elk carcass laying on the interstate of life. I came back because I no longer desired going home to God more than I desired bringing light and love to the earth and to wholeness. When I got back into my body, even though I'd had good doctors, I knew that to heal, I had to heal myself. To heal, I realized I had to slow down, learn how to sleep at night, and allow myself to feel the emotions, what I had been running from. But I fell in love with life. All my life, my saving grace was love for and from horses. Being with horses allowed me to slow down and be present. It was natural for me to enroll in a course on equine gestalt coaching, taught by Melissa Pierce at Touched by a Horse. At one of my training camps, I heard Melissa talking to Eddie, this beautiful young gray horse. Melissa told Eddie, "You can't get this wrong. Be confident, be centered, and do what comes naturally." As I heard Melissa talking to that horse, I decided that I too couldn't get it wrong if I stayed centered, present, and held compassion for myself and all life. Finally, I reached a place in my healing path where I could feel the deep, dark pain and the overwhelming sadness that I'd been carrying in my body. It happened at a coaching session after my defenses played themselves out. I felt the pain, it took over, and I bent over and collapsed, crying tears that I needed to cry decades ago. My mare Mystic partnered with Melissa for that process. I will never forget Mystic's big heart holding space and loving me. She was free to be anywhere she wanted to be, and she was as close to me as she could get, even though there was a fence separating us. I could see Mystic's soft eye, half brown, half blue, soaking me into her presence. Her breath was rhythmic, peaceful, soothing, like the waves of the ocean. Her nostrils barely moved as she stood there majestic, seeming to embody the Divine Mother. For me, horses are soul whisperers. A horse's heart has been measured to emanate 5 times greater than the same measurement of a human's heart. I could feel the emanations from Mystic's heart entering my heart as she stood there so solid, creating an energetic container that held me as I broke down. Now that I've allowed light and love to enter my heart and heal the fissures that kept me from desiring to live life wholeheartedly, I now have a consuming desire to embody light and love as a means to transform the world. What is love? What is desire? In my heart, desire and love are close cousins in vibration. Desire is a fire that rises from my belly and sometimes causes me to do things that parts of me resist. Love is a fire in my heart that changes how I experience life. Love allows us to embody our true nature, our awareness beneath our sensations, thoughts, and emotions. Love that's not embodied or anchored is just a word, nothing else. The one who embodies love lives unconditional, one with their true essential nature, which is love. I am aware that each of us were created in our own divine geometry, intricacy of light. Just like no 2 crystalline snowflakes are the same, each one of us has our own divine, unique identity. This one sees only beauty, is moved by breath, embodies total soul freedom, and is void of shame or pride. When I experience love, it expands my embodiment of love. When I think of love, it expands my consciousness of love. Loving allows me to be me. I desire with all my heart to be love at all levels of being. As Mahatma Gandhi said, our greatness lies not so much in being able to remake the world. That is a myth of the atomic age. It is being able to remake ourselves. The way we remake ourselves is we go deep within our heart and uncover your true heart's desire. When I desired to leave the earth, I was able to manifest that happening. The truth is, how we live, where we live, how we experience life, how or whether we love, that is all a direct manifestation of our desires. Granted, to the extent that you're not aware of your underbelly, some of your desires probably reside in your subconscious or unconscious. In order to get back into my body, I made those 2 promises. And that time, I decided that I desired to feel my reason for being more than I desired not engaging in life on earth. You too have a life purpose, great heart's desires. It is my hope for you that you go deep within, you uncover that desire, and you live it with your whole heart, wholeheartedly. Do not wait until you're out of your body, looking back at life, desiring to fulfill your reason for being. That could be too late. Start now, go deep within, find that desire, and live it wholeheartedly. We can start a revolution for wholeness that starts inside each of us. And from that foundation, we will transform the outer world to the place we dream of.